Thumbs up. That's good. It might be an off-season job where I'm going to build an actual support thing for him so we can adjust the height and have him.
That's not creepy at all.
I hope it's not on my photo or something.
Yeah.
We've only had one episode with our new presenting crew.
I'm ready whenever you are, James.
Well, I do know you'd read everything.
Yeah.
So, and we checked who was saying everything.
As we've said before, it makes no difference.
Welcome everyone, episode 12 of the closeout for 2020. James Lisserman, Community Basketball Manager.
Laurie McDaniel, Development Manager.
Very good. And first of all, before we get into the regular sort of thing, just a massive thank you to all our floor controllers, referees, volunteers with the teams, administrators, all the things. Obviously we played basketball at level 2 from Wednesday last week, and honestly it went smoother than any of us could have expected. It was great also to see a couple of people texted Christina at Shirley and Avonside and just said, thank you for the wonderful job that she was doing in terms of the stuff there. So really appreciate the work that they do, and obviously people thanking them as well. We couldn't have done nearly as good a job without all the people helping us this past week.
Agreed. Great job, everyone. Right, right into Miles Toyota Premier League. So game of the week was the Patron Trophy final, which was between North Canterbury and Lincoln University. So virtually wire to wire for North Canterbury. They started off on a 22-2 run and basically stayed ahead the whole game. Mary Golding was responsible for a majority of the NC's points, scoring a season high 40. For her, fellow Torfern, returning from Torfern camp, Helen Matthews, had 14 points. Neither team shot particularly well, but NC managed a whopping 21 more attempts than Lincoln in this particular game. So they came around with a well-deserved 89-46 victory to claim the Patron Trophy for 2020. In the second game of the week for the Women's Prem, we had UC versus Horswell. This game was very competitive, a lot closer. The usual scorers for varsity, Tessa Morrison and Hannah Maszewski, both in the 20s, so 26 for Hannah and 22 for Tessa. Brought them up to a good victory, but Horswell were led by Fran Edmondson, 16 points, and Sophie Schrader with 11. And they did clap the lead once to 1 point.
Yeah,
but,
I think they did it every single quarter.
But UC answered and ended up coming away with a 67-60 victory. So congratulations, UC.
Yeah, onto the Premier Men's following them. Lincoln University, once again, had much better job of their opponents in the first half. Ben Hoy had 19 points in the game.
Again, it's 20 or nothing,
Yeah,
mate.
I know it is. They were up 21 points late in the second quarter, but it's Matt Maszewski, 26 points. Alex Talma back from the Rams, 24 and 14. And his minutes were limited, I think, to 19. He played, trimmed the lead all the way down to 1 point twice in the fourth quarter. But it was Bears back from overseas in the States on his Masters, getting his Masters scholarship. 18 points, 14 rebounds, game MVP.
Nice.
He made the key plays down the stretch for Lincoln University to keep them in the driver's seat there and in the top 4 for one game lead over University of Canterbury. Final score there, I don't think I even wrote it down, but you can see it on screen now. Lincoln did hang on and win by a couple of points. Second game of the day, North Canterbury, they welcomed Mason Whitaker back into the team, while UC had Jack Exeter and Max Stoddard all back from the Rams. This may have contributed to a little bit of rust from both teams, because there was not great shooting, like you said, in the some of the other games as well. But Brent Fisher was his usual effective self, 13 points, 14 rebounds, and Nate Campbell, 12 and 12. It was Ethan Rusbach, 28 points, 10 rebounds, named game MVP, played all 40 minutes and was very controlled, as well as Nat Connell, 11 points, 12 rebounds, who used his experience to calm things down when it looked like UC might come back. Let North Canterbury hang on, win relatively comfortably, 75-66 in the end.
I think it's great to hear some of the more mature players still being mentioned at the Prem's level. It goes to show oldies but goodies, James.
Yeah, no, I remember when we started Lincoln talking about Nat and saying he's in his 30s now, but do not underestimate him, will kill you. And then what happens? 30 points for Nat and so easily.
Right. On to Pioneer versus Checkers. Pioneer made good use of their new recruit who slotted in seamlessly. So Taylor Britt was back on the court for them. 20 points, 8 rebounds and 8 assists. So he came away with the game MVP there. Ollie Davies had 20, and they built a 30-point lead at the half, and it was mostly just kind of playing the game out from there, with Toby Galuli with 21, 12 rebounds and 6 steals, and Sam Smith 15 were the best performers, but Pioneer came away with a 94-70 win against Checkers.
Yeah, so not great there, but a great game we did find with Glory League Game of the Week, boys under 17 mid-grade. Shirley Boys Spartans versus Gators White. It was up 16 points for Shirley in the first half. Joel Orona had 15 and scored most of his points in the paint when he was able to sort of sneak behind the other players here. Then for Gators White, Matt Pelleton, 21 points, 13 in the third quarter, including this move where he stopped right on a dime, got the defence to fly past and then scored the bucket. Wesley Vander Kolf had 17, 10 points of his came in the fourth, and this M1 gave Gators their first lead by 2 since I think they lead right at the very beginning of the game and then right near the end. For Shirley Boys High, Cam McConchy, 13 points, tied the game with this putback in the game, but it was Zach Velasco, I think I've said that right, X-A-C-H, so apologies if I don't, hits this three. He only scored 5 points in the game, none bigger than this three, which saw Gators win 64-60 after they had a free throw following the 3-point basket. So well done to both teams there. And we did have a message from the referee, Paula Wilkinson, who said she was super impressed with the way both teams played the game, and just the interaction was wonderful between them. So we'll pass it on to all the schools and clubs, but yeah, game of the week and some excellent feedback from the referee on the game as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Women's Div 1 versus women's under 21 grade has now completed their 24 game inter-competitions, and we needed a 3-1 split in the games this past weekend. And we did get that, but it was in favour of the women's under 21 grade. So women's under 21, there were a little bit of the bragging rights in the Div 1 under 21 grade, and so they came away with 14 wins to 10.
Yeah, nice and close though. So
it is 14-10. Yeah, it's pretty close. You wouldn't want to 20-4 or anything. So yeah.
So anyway, Miles Toyota Premier matchups this week, which you are not invited to come along and watch while we're under level 2. If we have suddenly magically way more staff, we will try to live stream them or encourage the clubs to do that, obviously with a bit more time to do so. 12-10 Lincoln University 5-3 against Hallsville 1-7, and then North Canterbury still undefeated 8-0 are going up against UC 2-6. Miles Toyota men's Premier games 145 UC 3-6. They need to start winning some games to try and sneak into the playoffs. Pioneer though looking pretty comfortable at 6-3. 320 North Canterbury at 2-6, chance to make some noise after winning that last game, but up against the undefeated Atami team 8-0. And then 4:55 PM Checkers 2-6, but with Sam Smith and Toby Galuli now up against Lincoln University, who are 4-5, but have basically had virtually the team that they've got now the whole way through the season.
Just want to take a wee minute to commend everyone that's been involved in some of the coaching courses we've been delivering over the past month. Obviously, COVID's thrown a little bit of a loop in that, as it did earlier in the year, but we've had some good numbers and really good discussions and coaching environments going on, both at the Basketball New Zealand community course level, the FIBA level 1, and also the intermediate or Kiwi Hoops coaching courses, which are being delivered out in Selwyn at the moment. So really great to see people out there wanting to keep their coaching techniques fresh, learn something new and contribute to the basketball community, so it's been great.
Yeah. McDonald's Thompson and Whelan Trophy, obviously we had Thursday last week a couple of games with no spectators in attendance, and it's obviously a credit to the schools to be able to organise themselves to do that. And then we've had quite a few which have organised live streams for the games, which just happened on Tuesday by the time you see this as well. A couple of super important ones which we obviously don't know the results. Middleton Grange, especially 2 huge games. The girls need to win when they played against Papanui on Tuesday to cement their AA invitation. And then the boys team playing against St. Bede's, it's our Thompson game of the week. The winner of that basically grabs the inside track to join the other 2 teams which are looking strong there at 2-0 as well, going up to the AA Nationals. And then a second game, super important, Rangiora Girls versus St. Andrews Girls, basically gets the number 1 seed from our region on Tuesday as well. So some super important games have happened this week, and we'll have the results updated, and basically the 3 girls teams will be confirmed this week, and the boys will have a pretty good idea, at least, who should be looking to try and go. On to plays of the week. My first one here, I was lucky enough to do bench of this, so keeping an eye on the best players. Gavin Torres for Checkers men's Div 1. Double crossover here, then sneaks through the trap by sort of pushing the ball ahead, hits the jumper right as the buzzer's going, I think at the end of the third quarter, so well done to Gavin Torres there.
And I've got a great play from Helen Matthews here, a really nice left to right crossover, drive to the hoop. She splits the help D and with a really tough fadeaway over a much taller Emma Trollope in the paint. So a great finish by Helen.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that much room.
Yeah.
Look, very, very good. My last one here, Josiah Williams, another game I was at doing sets, so another note there. Gets the rebound, pushes it up the floor, and you can see Zach Cannon knows like how quick Josiah can change sort of speeds and adjust that. Loses his balance to the small hesitation, hits the deck, and Josiah then goes in for a nice easy turn. Zach did get up, he was fine, but did stay down for a little bit of time there.
You love a good ankle break and play in a game. Right, so what we have now is supporter spotlight. So we had a big thank you to Sport Canterbury for the second round of the resilience funding, and some of the clubs have already been able to claim this. So thanks very much to Sport Canterbury for making that happen for us.
Yeah, Clive, our general manager, sent out the basically what things we've been told people can apply for, and yeah, some have already received payments for them. So excellent job there. That wraps up week 12 of the closeout. Good job, good effort.
Be cool, be kind, be good Kiwis.